Imagine waiting 4 entire years for something. Not 4 days, not 4 months, 4 years. Think about where you were 4 years ago, the phone you used, the things you worried about, the person you were. Now imagine spending all that time waiting for a single event. And then for just 1 month, billions of people around the world suddenly stop what they're doing to watch the same thing, the same matches, the same moments, the same trophy. That's the FIFA World Cup. But what actually happens during a World Cup? How do countries get there? Why is everybody so obsessed with it? And how can one single match make an entire nation celebrate or cry? By the end of this story, you'll understand exactly how the World Cup works, even if you've never watched a football match in your life. Let's start with the biggest misconception. Many people think the World Cup is just a tournament where countries show up and start playing. Not even close. The World Cup is actually the final stage of a process that takes years. Before the tournament even begins, countries from around the world have to qualify. Think of it like trying out for the Olympics. Only the best teams earn a spot. And we're not talking about a few countries. More than 200 nations compete for a limited number of places. That's more countries than most people can name. And here's something crazy. Some countries spend years trying to qualify and still don't make it. Entire generations of players can go through their whole careers without ever appearing in a World Cup. That's how difficult it is. Once qualification ends, the teams that made it travel to the host country. In 2026, that host won't be one country, it'll be three: the United States, Canada, and Mexico, making it the first World Cup ever shared by three nations at the same time. And this is where things start to get interesting, because the tournament doesn't begin with knockout games. It starts with something called the group stage. Don't let the name scare you. It's actually very simple. Imagine your classroom gets divided into smaller groups for a competition. That's basically what happens. Teams are placed into groups and play matches against the other teams in that group. Every result matters, because every result earns points. A win gives 3 points. A draw gives 1 point. A loss gives 0. When all the matches are finished, the teams with the most points move on. The others go home. And yes, sometimes teams are eliminated because of a single goal. One goal. After years of preparation. Imagine studying for 4 years and failing an exam by one question. That's what it can feel like. But here's where the World Cup becomes truly addictive. Once the group stage ends, the knockout stage begins. And now there are no second chances. Lose once, you're out. Win, you survive. It's basically the sports version of sudden death. Every game becomes bigger. Every mistake becomes more expensive. Every goal becomes more important. This is why people who don't even watch football suddenly become obsessed during the World Cup. The drama is impossible to ignore. And then something fascinating happens. Tiny countries can shock giants. A nation with a much smaller population can defeat a football superpower. It's one of the reasons the World Cup is so unpredictable, because unlike most competitions, anything can happen. Now let's talk about something many beginners find confusing. What happens as a knockout match ends in a tie? Good question. If both teams have the same score after 90 minutes, they play extra time. That's 2 additional periods of play. And if they're still tied, the match goes to penalties. This is where players take turns shooting directly against the goalkeeper. And honestly, few moments in sports create more pressure. Imagine standing in front of millions of viewers, knowing that one kick could make you a national hero or the person everyone remembers for the wrong reason. No pressure, right? Some World Cup matches, even finals, have been decided this way. That's how close the margins can be. As the tournament continues, fewer and fewer teams remain. The quarterfinals, the semifinals, and then finally, the World Cup final. One match, 90 minutes, possibly extra time, possibly penalties, and the winner becomes world champion. Not league champion, not continental champion, world champion. And now when the next World Cup starts, you'll know exactly what's happening and why the entire world suddenly can't stop talking about it. If you enjoyed this and want football explained in a simple way, make sure to subscribe, because there are a lot more football mysteries to uncover.